Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today to learn more about connecting with your inner child so you can support children's development. We have an amazing webinar lined up for you today. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this sunny Thursday. I don't know if anyone here is in Toronto like I am, but it is a beautiful day outside. Welcome, everyone. As always, as you settle in, go ahead and let us know in the chat where you're coming from today. Good morning, Megan. Hello, Arlene. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, Cindy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on your Thursday afternoon. Welcome. As always, we are going to just take a couple minutes. We're going to listen to some music and we're going to let everybody find a spot to enjoy today's webinar, whether you're at home, in the office, in your break room. Welcome, Massachusetts, North Carolina, New Jersey. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. Welcome all. Happy Thursday. Again, my name is Maddie. For those of you who have never met me before, and I will be your host for our webinar. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy weeks and days to learn more about how to connect with your inner child to support children's development. Welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody. Take a minute, enjoy some music, grab a coffee, grab your tea, and we will get started right at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Welcome, everybody. If you just joined us, go ahead and put your name, where you're from in the chat. We love to see our familiar names and some new names as well. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Welcome. Let us know, are you at your center right now? Is your center closed for the summer? Maybe you get a couple of weeks off. Welcome. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Marianne. Thank you for joining us. Your center's open. Well, thank you for finding time in your busy day to be here. I know it's so hard to join these webinars sometimes, depending on what is going on in your classroom or at your center. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. One more minute. We're going to go ahead and get started. Going to continue on with a little more Pharrell music, and then we will get started. Welcome, everybody. I love seeing all your names and where you're coming from in the chat. I hope you're all watching as well. It's so exciting to see everybody joining from all different corners of the world. San Diego, New Zealand, welcome. Brampton, hi, Nancy. We are not too far. Welcome, everybody. Okay, it is 2 o'clock on the dot, and we have a fabulous webinar lined up for you today. So I don't want to take up any more of our time. I'm going to go ahead and pause our Pharrell music, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, welcome everybody. My name is Maddie, and I will be your host for today's webinar. Thank you for joining us to learn more about connecting with your inner child to support children's development. I'm so excited for the webinar today. As always, before we get started, one quick reminder about our brand new giveaway. So for every single person at our webinar today, you have all automatically been entered for a chance to win a $50 gift card. We will be announcing the winner of the gift card in our show notes email that we will be sending out by early next week. So just keep an eye out for that email in your inbox. The winner will be announced there, and we will also be contacting the winner directly. So if it is you, do not worry. We will be sure to get in contact with you so you can get your gift card. And quick disclaimer, as always, so the information and content that we are sharing with you today is not personalized legal or financial advice. So the goal today is for everyone on here to gain some really great tips, tricks, and techniques to bring into your centers, your homes, your classrooms, wherever it may be, Though if you are looking at making any big changes at your center, we do just want to make sure that you are consulting the right people, such as a legal or a financial advisor. We're now going to give a listen to our land acknowledgement.
Hi Mama acknowledges that our main headquarters is situated in Toronto, Ontario, on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Toronto itself is a word that originates from the Mohawk word takaranto, meaning the place in the water where the trees are standing. As participants and guests in today's webinar, we are coming together from many different places around the world. We encourage you to learn about and acknowledge the land from which you participate.
And we are now going to give a listen to our diversity and inclusion statement.
Hi Mama is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment for our employees, customers, and community. Hi Mama welcomes and celebrates individuals of all backgrounds, orientations, and identities. Our Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee aims to ensure we provide a safe environment for everyone to thrive while bringing their authentic selves to work. Our mission is to promote an inclusive workspace for all employees through education, discussion, and celebration of our differences. Embracing these differences while coming together with a common purpose is what makes our team extra special.
Okay, and a few housekeeping pieces as well before we dive in. One, this session is being recorded as always. So if for any reason at all you do have to hop off, do not worry. We will be sending out the recording in the show notes email by early next week. So you will have it there. We are also recording with the closed captions enabled. So those will be on the recording for you. Though if you do require the closed captions for today's live webinar, please do be sure to hit that CC tab on your side of the Zoom so you can utilize those today. Certificate, again, for everyone on the live webinar today, you will all be receiving a certificate of participation, and we'll be sending those out to you again early next week. So do not worry if you don't see it today or even tomorrow. We are working on getting them out to you as soon as possible. So just keep an eye out in your inbox early next week. And lastly, if you're having any issues at all, that we certainly hope you do not, if you do have any issues, we just want to make sure that you're contacting the right people who can help you the most efficiently and who know the product the best, which is the support team over at Zoom. So you can contact them at support.zoom.us. And Lena has also posted a link in the chat, so you can have that on hand should you need to contact them at all. Okay, and super, super exciting. I've been so excited to share this with all of you on here today. If you have not already heard, Hi Mama has launched an all new online professional development platform designed to elevate early childhood educators. So Hi Mama Academy provides educators with convenient, self-paced, on-demand professional development training, all at your own pace, all accessible at whatever time works best for you. So this allows educators to stay up to date with best practices through a wide range of topics and high quality engaging courses. With Hi Mama Academy, it's truly never been easier to commit yourself to ongoing learning and development because it is all at your schedule. Whatever time works best for you, whenever you're interested in. It's all on demand in Hi Mama Academy. Please, please do check it out. It is so exciting. It's amazing. Lena just posted a link in the chat. You can click that link now and you can access your free 7-day trial. I hope you love it. I know you will. It's absolutely fabulous. Okay, and finally, your hosts. If you've never met me before, again, my name is Maddie. I am a customer advocacy specialist here at Hi Mama. I am your host of our Hi Mama Helps webinars, and I'm also one of the registered early childhood educators we have here on our team. As always, I have my lovely co-host Lena here with me today. Welcome, Lena. What's going on with you today?
Hi, everyone. I guess my fun fact for today is that I'm in the office, I guess, doing this webinar. So hello from the office.
Very, very jealous of that today, Lena. Enjoy the office. Okay, and finally, last but absolutely not least, our wonderful guest today, Ron Shuali. Ron, welcome. Please feel free to come mic on, camera on. Welcome, Ron. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
OMG, I am so excited. Oh, forgot inner child workshop today. So gotta let my inner kid out. Let me spin this around a couple of times. If you don't have your Hi Mama hats.
I wish I had mine.
I heard they have boxes and boxes and boxes. So everybody go and order your Hi Mama hats. These are tremendously awesome. What happened? That just go flying off. Okay, by the way, that just broke, so I need a new Hi Mama hat. Just letting everyone know. Okay, so I'll just put this over here just in case for safekeeping.
Ron, I'm so excited for your presentation today. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that the stage is fully all yours. I will be here in the background, but the stage is all yours for today. Thanks so much for being here with us.
My absolute pleasure, everyone. Just welcome. If you're listening, hands in the air. If you're listening, touch your nose. If you're listening, touch your ears. If you're listening, touch your toes. All right, so are we going to have to go over head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or can we just kind of flow? I'm just teasing. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about the inner child. What is the inner child? So many different people have so many different perspectives on what the inner child is. My understanding of the inner child is it's part of our psyche, part of our inner being that has a lot to do with our past traumas. It has a lot to do with our past experiences and things that happened in life that are in our past that now affect our future. Give you a perfect example. Imagine you're a 3-year-old and mommy and daddy are getting into an argument. And sometimes that happens. All of a sudden mom goes, you know what? Oh, that's it. I can't deal with this. I'm leaving. And then she's just going out for 5 seconds or a couple of minutes to go for a drive or breathe or whatever the situation is. And then what happens? All of a sudden, the child that's 3 years old, and we know in early childhood, kids are processing the most than in any other time in their life. This kid's brain starts doing what everybody else's brain does. It starts making meaning. It starts making up stories. So all of a sudden, in a heightened sense, in a heightened experience, this mom leaves for 5 or 10 minutes just for the child. Mommy left. And what the brain does is it takes a screenshot, it takes a snapshot or a Polaroid of the exact situation, what happened, and then right there, it's stuck. Even if mom comes back 5 minutes later, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave. This was a situation. I just wanted to breathe. I love you, to dad and to everybody else there. Too late. The brain already made something happen. Your body came into a heightened state, and now you have given yourself trauma. It's not your fault. This is just the way that we're designed. Like, it's not your fault that you get hungry. It's not your fault that you get thirsty. It's something that happens. It's part of the design that we have. So what I offer you today is any way that you are. If something happened 10 minutes ago, something happened 20 minutes ago, any way that you are is absolutely perfect. Being the way that you are right now and getting that it's okay to be that way is part of accessing and understanding and being with your inner child. Uh, Myself growing up, I was told that you're not allowed to be sad. You're not allowed to cry, especially in front of other boys or men, because that means you're a blank, 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 or whatever it was. And that information was given to me by men and adults in my life that, they came from trauma. I mean, how many of you have people in your life, your parents, your grandparents, other family members that have been in wars, that have gone through traumatic experiences, that have been through the depression? All that trauma, all that stays in the body, stays in the cells unless we release it. And the thing that we don't really understand is that we have emotions in our body. And what's the breakdown of an emotion? It's energy and motion. So what happens is we have a traumatic experience in our life. That energy that happens gets stuck in our bodies. And unfortunately, like we've been told, as growing up, I was told, don't cry, don't do this. My sister, who's younger than me, was told, you can cry as much as you want, but don't you dare be angry. Don't you dare yell out loud because you're hysterical. And that was taught to her by people that have had trauma in their life whatsoever. Now, as we have a better understanding of humans, we have a better understanding of the psyche, we have a better understanding of accepting other people, especially over the last 10, 20, 30 years, we get to experience that we're allowed to be any way that we want. So if you have a child that comes up to you and says, I don't love you, it's okay. If you have a child that says different things to you, if you have different kids and different adults in your life that say things, and all of a sudden you feel this upset, you feel this trigger, it's okay. It's just part of the way that we're designed. You don't have to get upset at yourself. You don't have to say, I shouldn't feel this way. It's okay. I want you to really, really get that. Any way that you feel is okay. Any way that you feel, if you're sad, it's okay. If you're depressed, it's okay. If you're frustrated, it's okay. The important part to really understand is that when these emotions happen, they get pushed down and suppressed into our body. And if you're still with the mindset that you've been programmed, with nothing wrong with it, we're computers just like other computers are. If you have the mindset that you're having to push all those down, suppress those emotions, especially adults growing up. I mean, we're marketed alcohol and drugs and pills and do this and push all this stuff down. What happens is that stuck energy inside us, this emotion, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up, and it affects us. That 3-year-old now has a program potentially that they're not lovable because of what happened when they were 3 years old. And if that isn't expressed, and if that isn't handled to get this energy and this emotion out of the body, it's going to stay there longer. And then if they believe that they're not lovable because that's the story they made up in their head, now imagine when they're an adult. Imagine when they're an adult and all of a sudden they're getting into a relationship and then somebody starts showing them love and affection. And what happens then, they in their program, I'm not lovable, because remember what happened at 3 years old. And then all of a sudden they start thinking, well, that person's a liar, that person's going to be deceiving me, they're going to break up with me before I break up with them, so I won't even allow them into my life. And then they don't allow love. And love is the most amazing thing. If you have somebody in your life that you have unconditional love, it's a magical thing. And I'm guessing that if you have that person in your life and they're resonating with you, maybe you've already done some of the work that happens inside of us. And we're going to do a meditation later on to meet your inner child so that you can connect with them. Some people haven't really met their inner child yet. I'll give you a perfect example of your inner child. Imagine you're driving, and then all of a sudden, somebody cuts in front of you. Now, you have the adult personality, and then you have your inner child that runs us as well. The adult personality doesn't go, that person just cut me off. The most intelligent and logical thing for me to do is to speed up as fast as possible to get this close to their bumper so that I can let them know they almost got into an accident by almost causing an accident. That's not the sane adult. What happens is somebody cuts in front of you, your inner child in 1 second gets triggered and goes, no cutting! And then you get into an accident, or hopefully you're able to brake way before that. Your inner child comes out a lot. If you have a teacher, you have a child that comes up to you and goes, I don't love you. And then that teacher just starts getting upset because all these different triggers are happening. It's just from your past, and it's okay. By the way, that I don't love you could just be a kid trying to push your buttons or get your attention. For me, what I do is when I have a child that says things like that, I look at them and go, it's okay for you not to love me today. It's okay for you to feel any way that you want. I want to let you know that I love you. And what do you want to work on? Do you want to go to a center? Do you want to go play with your friends? And that kid might go, oh, okay. And all of a sudden, you're not as upset, and that kid doesn't get the response anymore. Another thing that I have noticed a lot, now I've been working in preschools since about 2005. And one thing that I notice that happens all the time, and it happens from loving teachers, it happens from wonderful teachers who don't want to see kids upset. But what happens is when a child is triggered into something and they get upset, what do we try to do? What is our go-to? Calm down. It's okay. Take a breath. And we try to shut them down. And I offer you something. And this may be the first triggering thing that we're going to talk about. I offer you that if a child is having a breakdown, if a child is upset, if a child is crying, and just try this on. This is my perception, and it's not real or not true. But I want you to be safe in your mind to try this on. Try on when a child is having a breakdown, and our need to stop them from crying has nothing to do with them. Try on. We are getting triggered from something from our past. Because a child is crying, what's happening is the child is crying. A child is upset. What does that mean? The child is upset. It doesn't mean anything else unless we give it meaning, and that comes from ourselves. So the hardest thing to do is to let a child actually cry it out, is to let the child actually express themselves. Because we've been taught, and we've been taught over and over, to suppress our emotions. One thing that I love to have people do is teach the kids in their classes and their own kids at home, or if you're in a home childcare, how to do scream therapy. Scream therapy, what's that? Well, listen, how many times have you in your life wanted to just scream? You just wanted to unleash. You wanted to move stuck energy, and you just wanted to, ah! I guess that's kind of inappropriate in a classroom or home environment from the way that we've been taught. So what I offer you, get a pillow, find a pillow. And anytime that you have free time, 5 seconds, unless you have time in the car, you're at a red light, take that pillow. And by the way, if you have a pillow now, or you have a blanket or something, go get it. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go get it. Oh, I have a sip of my water. I didn't know how to get the straw into my mouth. Okay, so what I want you to do is simply just get a, simply just get a pillow. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a breath, breathe in, and then as loud as you can for 3 to 5 seconds, scream into the pillow. And some of you, your brains are not going to want to do this. Your inner children are going, no, I'm going to get embarrassed, because maybe you were embarrassed at some point. No, I'm shy, because maybe you were shy at some point. And it's beautiful. Any way that you feel, any way that you are is wonderful, because we are perfect and whole and complete, no matter what other people say. Ready? Grab onto your pillow if you can, or try this when you're at home. Breathe in, 3 to 5 seconds. Let's do this. Ready, set, go. Whew. That was awesome. If you tried it and you felt that release in your body, how many of you feel maybe even 1% lighter? So my offer to you is, if this is something that you actually try yourself and you feel like it benefits you, then I offer to model it for your kids. Not go up to your kids and tell them, if you're upset, scream into the pillow. Because look, I don't like to be told what to do, and most people don't like to be told what to do. It's just the way that we're designed. So what I offer you is, if you're in a situation where you have a pillow, maybe create a moment where you're upset about something. Maybe if you're working in a classroom of multiple teachers, have one of the teachers maybe suggest you come in and you do some acting, do a little improv. Maybe you might get an SNL job, and do some acting. And all of a sudden what you're doing is you're just like, I'm really upset about this text I just got. I'm really frustrated. And then the other teacher or might go, hey, listen, why don't you try a little screaming into a pillow? Or maybe you can go, I want to feel better. I want to move this energy. Now, by the way, all this is happening, all your kids are watching. You don't have to tell your kids 3/4 of the time what to do. You just have to model it for the alpha kids in your classroom, and then they'll go ahead and do it. Just like when I like to see who's going to be a comedic mind, so in 20 years they have their Netflix or Comedy Central special, what I do is I go into a classroom and I'll go, I'll say something like, knock, knock, and the kids go, who's there? And I go, boo, and they go, boo-hoo, and I go, don't cry, it's only a joke. And then the kids laugh, but then you may have one kid come up to you and go, knock, knock, and I go, ooh, here's the next Sebastian Maniscalco, here's the next Jim Brewer, or the next whatever comedian, and I go, who's there? And they go, boo, and I go, boo-hoo, and they go, don't cry, it's only a joke, and then I go, and then that kid just got reinforced. Their brain took a snapshot of comedy getting them attention. Anyway, I digress. But so what I do is I'll be like, wow, I'm really upset. I'm not feeling like I wanna, like, I'm not feeling super happy. I wanna let this go. Hold on 1 second. Now all the kids are watching, and you take a pillow or whatever it is, and you go, oh, and you go, wow, I feel so much better. And then you just leave it. And then see if in the environment that you have a pillow, if that's something that the kids can do. Because a lot of these kids have all this stuck energy as well, especially if you have a kid that comes in and they're all over the place, and our brain goes automatically, oh, that kid has what? Right, ADHD, because they're not following directions. They don't have this and they don't do that. But in reality, 20 years from now, they're going to be the next Elon Musk. They're going to be the next scientist, the next actor. So what I want to do is I want to tell you a little story about a teacher that I was teaching back when I lived in New Jersey. My company was teaching enrichment programs in preschools. I was at the school for probably 5 years. I taught lessons there, and then I did staff training. And one of the teachers that was in the kindergarten room, she was awesome. She was bubbly. She was so excited. And then I handed over that class to one of my instructors as my speaking business started to get bigger. And then I got a phone call from the director about a year later. She's like, can you come talk to Miss Susie? Like, yeah, why? What's going on? Miss Susie, she's like a ball of fire. She's the one that's singing and dancing, having more fun with the kids. I don't know. She's like, she's been different over the last year. So I go and I sit down to have a conversation with her. And I can feel that she's feeling different. And it's not the same person that I knew a year ago. So we start having questions. We start having a conversation. I start asking questions about, what's happened over this time, what's happened 6 months ago, what happened a year ago. She told me about a year ago, her mother passed away. And she has a younger sister. She's the only adult. And what happened was she said, oh no, my mom passed away. Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to do this? I got to cover rent. I got to be serious. And then what happened was that trauma that she just had, brain took a snapshot. I have to be serious. Now, what does she do? She's serious when she's at home. She's serious when she's at her second job. And she's serious with her kids in her classroom. Until she realized that when she took the way of being, when she unconsciously chose to be being serious, she didn't realize that it would affect every aspect of her life. And when she got it, she teared up. And she realized that she had taken away the teacher that these kids loved. The next day, I get a call from the director. What did you say to her? What happened? I'm like, oh, what happened? Because I don't remember anything that happened 10 minutes ago. And she's like, oh my God, she's so happy. She's so wonderful. She's so this, she's so that. I'm like, listen, you got to go talk to her about the conversation that we had, because it's private and personal. And if she tells you what happened, I'd love to talk to you more about it. So my request of you, and by the way, whenever I do any webinars or workshops or anything, I offer free coaching for 2 weeks, starting from today. Because if you're a teacher, if you're an educator, if you're a parent, and you used to be so excited to come into the classroom, and your inner child was connecting with these kids, and it was wonderful, and it was happy, and I can't wait to see my kids again. And now I can't wait till it's 6 o'clock. Something happened, and your brain took a snapshot of something and made it mean something. And now your inner child just wants to play with these kids, but our brain isn't allowing them to. So if you're that person that used to be joyous and happy, and all of a sudden something happened and you don't know what it is, my invitation to you is to be brave. Email me. All my contact information is on the Hi Mama website. Email me and let me talk to you, Zoom with you, whatever it is, and help you figure out what was that one point where your brain and your body unified as one to create a negative environment that doesn't benefit you. I would love to be able to do that for you. Even if you're thinking now to your past, what happened? You're doing the first steps already. It's incredible. Some ways to access the inner child and to have fun is just to be joyous. There's a lot of people that are talking about inner child work. You want to get to know an amazing person. Look up on Instagram, the holistic psychologist. The holistic psychologist does a lot of work with inner child healing, and she has great programs on reparenting ourselves. What does that mean, reparenting? Some of us had parents, some of us didn't have parents. Our parents And I'm going to say okay, my parents had no idea what they were doing. Why? I'm the first child. Why would they have any idea what I'm doing? And I came from another country. I was born in Israel. 2 generations before that, horrible things were happening to my relatives in Germany, Austria, wherever it was. That that trauma, that pain is generational and gets connected through your cells. So when you have parents that don't act the way that we think they should, we get upset at them and start looking other places. My mom is military. My dad is military. There was no I loves yous. There were no hugs. Even when I see them as an adult, I'm lucky I'm an ex 300-pound pro wrestler. I can hold on to my mom and hold on to my dad and not let them release the hug while they stay uncomfortable in it. But I know, I know my grandparents from both sides. There's no love. There's no attention. It was all about money. And that's what it was. If you wanted to be loved in that family, you gave the other person money, whatever the situation is. But that's just the way that they were, and it's okay. So reparenting is understanding that maybe when you were growing up, you weren't given everything that you need. So it's time for you to parent yourself. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe you put yourself on diets and workout programs. You know you're going to fail it because you don't trust it. You don't trust yourself. Maybe you say all these different things. You wonder why you can't get certain things done. Maybe you get triggered by certain kids or by certain people. None of this is your fault. It's just part of the programming that happens as we develop. And when this happens from ages 2 to 5, it becomes more ingrained. So as there's so many people talking about, look up reparenting yourself, look up the holistic psychologist, maybe do some legwork on inner child meditation. I'm going to run you through a meditation that I learned from a wonderful soul. Her name is Crystal Vesco, and she's a trauma release specialist who works with people to release their trauma so that it doesn't suppress them and it doesn't stop them and it doesn't cause them disease anymore. So there's tons of people working on that aspect. The area that I'm going to focus on is the area of the inner child full self-expression. To be silly, to be goofy. I mean, you're walking into a preschool or an early childhood environment where these kids are looking at you with big eyes going, you're my champion, you're my hero. And you get to play with kids all day. And here's the thing, I want you to get something. None of you are doing this for the money. None of you are doing this for the money because we don't pay early childhood educators anywhere 1/10 of what they're worth. So you're there for a reason. Something inside you drives you to work with these kids, whether it's having fun and being silly, or whether you know that when you work with an alpha kid with a super genius brain, and that kid, if you figure out how to have them access their passions and their dreams in life, they could change the world. And they can help you with your own passions and dreams that you haven't been taking on. Because maybe you grew up like I did. Everything was about college, college, college. My parents wanted me to get a job being a manager. All I wanted to do was be seen, entertain, and be a professional wrestler. And while I was going in and out of colleges trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, I was pro wrestling all around the United States, entertaining thousands of people, getting dressed up like the Blues Brothers, being silly and goofy and laughing. Look up Soul Brothers Wrestling. You may find a couple of videos on me back in the day. So I want you to access your joy, access your happiness. What I tell people to do is remember back in the day when you were growing up, remember the cartoons they used to watch? Hopefully you got a chance to. Remember the TV shows they used to watch? That'll bring you back. That nostalgia is so amazing and so powerful. If I all of a sudden feel like I feel upset, I feel like my inner child wants to play or something, I'll go to my phone. I'll go right onto my phone and I pull up my playlist that I have. And here we go. Here's the playlist. I got it queued up and I hit. The Transformers, more than meets the eyes. And then I'll listen to Transformers. I'll listen to, maybe I'll throw on, here's another one on my list. If anybody remembers this one. Ready? Sing it. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. When the kisses are hers and it's Three's Company too. Okay. Come and dance on our floor. So notice how you feel in this moment. And just be joyous and access that stuff. Anything that made you happy. If you want to take one action in your life to really connect with your inner child, what's the stuff that you used to do as a little kid? Are you watching your kids finger painting and pretending like you're an adult that has to supervise them? Are you watching your kids doing acting? Are you watching your kids do painting, self-expression, singing, dancing, and then you're just there? Do you want to sing? Do you want to act? How many of you have ever seen America's Got Talent? And you've seen people that their whole entire lives they've wanted to do something and they get the opportunity to be on a stage and the whole place loses their minds and then they start crying and they're in tears because their inner child is being seen. So I offer you to do a couple of things for yourself. Number one, find some videos from your past that you love that within the first 2 or 3 seconds, you hear that and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't wait. It's G.I. Joe, it's He-Man, it's Transformers, it's Different Strokes, it's whatever it is. And then just feel what you feel. Another thing I offer you, and this is gonna be challenging, it's super challenging for me still, and I do it, is sit with your kids. Sit with your inner child. What does that mean? Not meditating and putting music on. It just means, there you go, the Brady Bunch I saw. So it just means with no distractions and with your phone on vibrate or silent, just sit and just talk to your kids. And if you have a boy pop up, if you have a girl pop up, whatever it is, that's who needs attention. Giving inner hugs is super important. Everybody take your hands like this. And now go like this and just give yourself a hug. And I invite you, if something is not allowing you to do this, it's okay. It's just a pattern. It's just a screenshot or a snapshot. And if you can, just take your arms, put it around yourself, and just love yourself. Give yourself a hug. Breathe in and breathe out. More. You got this. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, now close your eyes with your hands like this and think about yourself as a child. And if whoever popped up, if you just thought about yourself as a 15-year-old, that's the part of your inner child that needs attention. If you just pictured yourself as a preschooler, that's the part of you that needs attention. So give yourself a hug. Imagine yourself hugging your own inner child. And guess what? If your inner child right now doesn't want to hug you, maybe just put your hand out to them. You're visualizing this. Because here's the reality of it. Maybe your inner child doesn't trust you. Maybe your inner child has gone through different things. Maybe you've put yourself in situations where you knew you shouldn't have been, and your inner child's been screaming at you not to do it. And all of a sudden, you did it. You instead of following your dream to be a this or that, you went to this school because your parents wanted you to, because they wanted a 5-second dopamine rush of, oh, my child goes to this college and they're this. And you're miserable for 30, 40 years because you're still doing what they wanted you to do. Let your inner child out. Hug yourself. Breathe in. We're going to say this 3 times. We're going to say, I love you, me. Breathe in and say, I love you, me. 2 more. Breathe in. You got this. And if you're not doing this, it's okay. I love you, me. 1 more. Breathe in. I love you, me. Awesome. And if you can do that with your kids, you will feel a sensation of acceptance and wonderfulness. And this is a journey. I mean, however many years you've been on this planet, I don't say however many years old you are, because I don't understand why people say that. That's another thing that I think destroys the inner child. How old are you? I'm 3 years old. No, you're 3 years young. I'm 46 human years young. For whoever keeps on saying old, take that out of your vocabulary. When you ask the kids, don't say how old you are. I invite you. Say, what's your age? And then you say, I'm whatever. I'm 25 years young. And then all of a sudden, notice a difference right now. Say to yourself your age and how old you are. Say that. Ready? I am 46 years old. How do you feel? Now, ready? Say, I am 40, say whatever your age, years young. Ready? I am 46 years young. You feeling different? Take that on. All right, let's see how we are with time. Oh, we got plenty of time. Okay. So another thing that I do, just to be silly and goofy, is I have a fart machine. Now, some people think farts are funny. I think farts are hysterical. Kids fart, adults fart. It's a natural body thing. If you're enjoying, whenever you hear that and you're giddy and your inner child's doing it. By the way, speaking of inner child, Beavis and Butthead on Paramount just came out with a new video, a new movie, just letting you know. Okay, cool. So you're letting your inner child out. And if you're a person, and by the way, it's okay, but just get what I'm saying. If you're a person, if you're a person that somehow in your body right now, it's not funny, it's not this, it's not that, it's inappropriate, it's fine, it's okay. And if you're okay with feeling that way, keep feeling that way. You're entitled to it. But if you want to have joy and access and happiness and silliness, you're allowed to do it and you're allowed to free yourself. And this is where my coaching comes in. Totally free. I invite you, be brave. If your inner child's going, call him, say let me evil, I want to get out, then do it. I offer you that. Let me see what else. I have all these different notes over here because I want to make sure I get to everything. Okay. Say your fears. Oh, another thing. So we, as we develop, there are things that bring shame to us. There are things that bring upset to us. One thing that helps is saying out loud privately, unless you have somebody in your life that is totally non-judgmental and with you and connected with you and allows you to be free to be any way that you want. One thing that's great is just to say out loud what you're shameful for, whatever it is. I have a dog. His name is Scruffy. He's 12 years young, and years ago I hit him. I did. I got upset. I got triggered. I hit him. My mom used to hit me. Anybody here ever used to get whooped? 100%. The adult mind in me goes, oh yeah, well, I get it. I was a bad kid. I was doing this. I was doing that. I got kicked out of school. I got that. But that's great for the justification. But the little kid in you is going, Mommy, why are you hitting me? Why are you hitting me? Mommy, stop. And if you were ever whooped, then you're a child abuse survivor. And it's time for you to be okay with that. Because the way that you are inside is going to resonate to your kids. And if you can break the trauma from the past and not put it onto your kids, they're just going to have love and joy. And they're also going to learn how to be able to be with certain situations that happen in their life. So by modeling it for them, it makes a huge difference as opposed to just suppressing. So what I want to do is I want to go do a meditation with you, okay? And what I offer you, and this is the same meditation that is in the not the handouts, the thing with the resources. There you go. And by the way, I don't make myself upset for forgetting things, and you shouldn't either. Like you forget things, you forget to do things. It's just things that happen. You're allowed to be any way that you want, and your inner child might have some amazing relief. So what I want to do is I want to do a meditation. It's going to be about 10 minutes, and then we'll do a bunch of Q&A if you want. And all I invite you to do is just find a place, if you can, for quiet. And if you're in a classroom right now, and it's 2 p.m. Eastern time and it's nap time, that's fine. Maybe if you can put an earbud in or something like that, maybe you've already done it before. And And we're just going to have a little introduction to our inner child. So whenever you're ready, grab a sip of something, eyes closed. We're going to start with breathing. So take a breath with your nose or with your mouth and breathe out. Breathe in. And when you breathe in, try to breathe in with your nose. And as you breathe out, I want you to try a noisy exhale. Energy is going to move. And when the energy moves, the exhale, if you add sound to it, sound is a vibration, it still moves stuck energy. So try to breathe in with your nose and a nice noisy exhale. Ah. Breathe in through your nose again. And breathe out. And listen to my voice and just follow my voice wherever it takes you. Breathe in and breathe out. If you know what the chakras are in the body, if you can visualize them, we're going to focus on the 7 chakras from the crown, which is a dark purple on the top of your head, all the way down to your root chakra, which is the below your waist, and that's a nice, powerful red. So breathe in, think about your crown chakra, and just breathe into it. And then every breath, start going down your body and visualizing air and love and light going into your other chakras. So the next one is the third eye, right between your eyes, a nice lavender purple. And the next one is your throat chakra, a beautiful blue under your chin. And just picture light and like a whirly globe kind of color coming from there. Next breath, green chakra for your heart. Picture a nice light green. Next, we go down into our stomach, solar plexus area, and we visualize yellow and think of a bright yellow. Next, we go into our sacral chakra. Picture an orange. Nice, juicy, delicious orange. And then we go to our root chakra. Picture red, a fiery, beautiful, energetic red. And keep that energy flowing in and out of your body, up and down through your chakras. Breathe into the earth. If your feet are on the earth, whether they're barefoot or with shoes, feel the energy of the earth. Feel the energy of Mother Earth. Feel the energy of Gaia coursing through your body. Feeling safe, feeling nurtured, feeling warmth. Breathe into your heart. And I'm going to use the word source. You can use the word source, you can use the spirit, you can use God, whatever energetic belief system that you have. I believe it's all the same energy with just different names. And that's just my belief. So ask source for help right now. Help me to take down the walls around my heart. Help me to take down the walls around my heart. You may feel anxiety. You may feel panic come up. It's okay. Breathe through it. You're safe to feel all your feelings. Say to yourself, if you want, I am safe to feel angry. I am safe to feel sad. I am safe to feel shame. I am safe to feel scared. I am safe to allow the energy of these lifelong stuck emotions move through my body gently, peacefully, and gracefully. So whatever emotions and feelings come up in the next couple of minutes, just get you're safe and it's okay. And this is uncomfortable for some. When you work through the uncomfortable, you have breakthroughs in your life. So imagine a wall right now. And imagine this wall. And imagine whatever material you want. It could be a wall made out of wood and sticks. It could be a wall made out of bricks. It could be a wall made out of steel. And imagine that wall. And at any point where it's hard for you to picture or imagine, just ask whatever you believe in for help, because that's their purpose. Visualize that wall. How tall is it? How long is it? How wide is it? How thick is it? And after you have that wall pictured, notice on the edge of the wall or through a little hole in the wall, you see two little eyes. And those eyes are peeking through and they're looking at you. You move closer to get a better look, and that's your inner child. Tell your inner child it's okay. Tell them that you're here for them. Feel free to repeat what I say to them. Look at your inner child and say to them, I'm so sorry for being away from you this long. You can say you just didn't know, and it's okay. Say to your child, I'm here to be the parent that wasn't there for you. And if you get triggered, it's okay. I get it. It's fine. It's beautiful. Breathe in, breathe out. See what else you can see about this inner child. You may want to put your hand out to see if they maybe might come out from the wall. And if they're ashamed or if they're scared, it's okay. And if they do, then put your hands out to embrace them and to hug them. And this may take time. Tell them, I love you. I'm here for you now. And I'm never going to leave you again. Give yourself that hug if you want, mentally or physically. And just be with your inner child for however long it is until they say it's okay. It could be a minute, it could be 5, it could be 10. And what I invite you to do is be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. This wall has been building up for years and years and years. Sit with your inner child and just be with them and see what they say to you. See what comes up for you. And it's okay for you to be any way that you are. My humble and loving request of you is make an appointment every day. Chris calls it a sacred appointment. Every day for 5 or 10 minutes, whether you have to put in your calendar to remember like I do, or whether you can access it, shut the TV off. Sit somewhere quietly and just listen. Talk to them, visualize them. And what I also like to do is I like to visualize my future children that I'm going to have one day. And I've been told by source that I'm going to have my first kid in about 3 years. And I look forward to it. And the work that I've been doing and the work that you will do to be able to connect with them is going to make you be even a more loving and attentive and nurturing parent, a more loving and attentive and nurturing teacher, so that you can just be with these kids. Because not many people get to have the joy of having a preschooler in their life, let alone 10, 15 of them. So I offer you that. I know this is being recorded. Watch it again. There's other resources that are out there. If this is your first dive into the inner child, welcome. If you've been working with your inner child for a while, good for you, and continue the journey. I'm going to stop talking because I never be quiet, and my inner child just wants to be seen and be goofy and be silly. So if you have any questions, feel free.
Ron, thank you so, so much. That was so fabulous. I hope you have a minute to keep an eye on the chat there.
I've been trying not to look at the chat. I had it on the side, and everybody's been saying stuff. So I always, after these workshops, I'd love to read the chats after while you're doing your closing. So if you can send it to me. But yeah, totally. I got the chat open. What are some questions that people have? Let's rock.
Absolutely. So I have 2 questions here that Lena caught in the chat that we'll get to very quickly before we dive into those. Though, Ron, I am going to do our questions of the day to our audience. While I launch these, this is a great moment for you to take a look at the chat so you can see what everyone is saying. I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll now. You will see this pop up on your screen in probably just a couple of seconds. But what we want to know today is, how do you reflect on your life experiences currently? What is it that you do for self-reflection and self-love and to be a better early childhood educator for the children in your classroom? We put a few ideas down there: writing, journaling, whether it's discussion, thinking time, the way Ron was just speaking about. Maybe you don't do it yet. Maybe this is all brand new to you. And we're also curious if you are interested in learning more about how Hi Mama Academy makes professional development so accessible, so easy. It puts it right at your fingertips. It's on demand. It's self-paced. It is absolutely fabulous. I don't know if you can tell that we're so excited about Hi Mama Academy. So please let us know there if you're interested in learning more about it. I know how challenging professional development can be to find the time to engage in it. So with Hi Mama Academy, it's really whenever you need it and whenever you can do it, so you can be the best early childhood educator possible. So let us know if you're interested in learning more about Hi Mama Academy. You do get a 7-day free trial, so completely free to give it a try and see if it works for you. Let us know. And the last question there, as always, do you submit the Hi Mama webinar certificates to your local licensing agency? Are they accepted there, or do you just keep them for yourself? Also important to know that in Hi Mama Academy, all those courses are ISET accredited, so you do get those hours for your licensing as well. So super exciting. Okay, Ron, I am back with you. A couple questions. Let me go ahead and pull them up. Let's see, where did I put them? Okay, just give me a minute here, Ron. I'm getting them.
Here, I'll show everybody some of my inner child stuff. Okay, so this is Wolverine, and he goes schnicked, 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 and he was one of my favorite characters growing up because he was indestructible. So whenever I would have a challenge in my life and I would have some trauma, or I would get bullied or upset, I would think about Wolverine and go, that which does not kill you always makes you stronger. And I would go schnicked like that. And that kind of helped me a little bit. It's interesting. I'm kind of looking at all the different things that I have, and I'm seeing a theme that I never noticed. So this is the Thing from the Fantastic Four, another indestructible armored. Yeah, I'm sensing some inner trauma coming up right now. And of course, I have one of my favorite Transformers, nose cone, and all this other stuff. So yeah, wow. Okay, I get to do some more work because I just realized something very powerful. And that was awesome because I wouldn't have done it without this workshop. I'm ready for questions.
Okay. So the first one that came through here is, how can you get over the fear of being embarrassed, feeling shameful or guilty when trying to access your inner child?
You're never going to get fear. You're never, there's no, say that one more time, because I don't think you can get, what is it, get over? Was that the thing?
Yeah, get over the fear of being embarrassed, accessing your inner child. How do you get more confidence in finding that inner child inside of you?
Great question. Letting go of that fear. leaning in, doing the opposite of what we've been taught. Oh, you should just be confident, just do this, just practice. But no. Lean into it. Whatever, lay down one day in bed or sit in a couch or do something and be as sober as you possibly can, not even half a glass of wine or whatever the situation is, and just think about it. Think about yourself in situations where you're going to be embarrassed. Think about yourself in situations where you're going to be shamed. And then whatever starts coming up, let it come up. That's the point. You may cry, you may scream, you may physically, your whole entire body may shake until whatever the trauma was that created this, because other people may not have it because they didn't have the experiences that you had. When this comes out, all of a sudden you'll notice you'll have different ways of being that take over. But the only way to get past some of these things, it's not to push them down, it's to lean in, it's to move through it. And yeah, listen, crying and screaming for 2 minutes while your whole body shakes, it's not the most fun experience. And this is the way that our body's designed. I mean, you can watch videos of, I watched one video of a polar bear that they had wanted to help him. So they ended up hitting him with a tranq gun, and then they knocked him out. And then what happened was they did all the tests on him. They fixed his teeth. And then the polar bear woke up, and what did the polar bear have to do? Before it could start walking, it literally sat there, and you can look up videos, and it shook, and it shook, and it got all this stuff out of its system, and then it moved on. So leaning into it and dealing with it, and like I said, I'm available for coaching. My email is ron@ronspeak.com. I can walk you through this, and this is so simple as long as you're a human being.
Amazing. Thank you, Ron. And we will be sending out Ron's contact information in the show notes email. So if you would like that one-on-one coaching, if that's a more comfortable environment for you, we will be sharing how to get in contact with Ron. Thank you so much, Ron. So what I'm getting there is it's not something we're ever going to get over. It's just something that we have to learn to sit with that discomfort to then get to our inner child. It's just part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of the way that we are. And then imagine if you can do this for yourself, then imagine the ability that you're going to have for your kids when you have teenage kids, when you have middle school kids, and they don't know how to do this, and they're just being taught, you shouldn't feel this way. They're shamed into this, they're shamed into that, as opposed to just, you know what, you're allowed to express yourself as powerfully and as wonderfully as you can.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
One last question for you here before we do have to wrap up. Someone in the audience asked if you have any resources, literature, articles, videos to help parents on this topic so that this learning can continue at home as well.
The first video is one that I already sent you, is that resource to meet your inner child. That would be step number one. Chris, she did the video, she has a lot of other videos on there. The holistic psychologist, like I said in the beginning, she's got tons of stuff. I would just do a dive, just go on to YouTube and just type in inner child healing, inner child this, inner child that. And I mean, it's amazing that there's so much of this work that's being done. So the access there, and if you don't find something, email me and I'll help you out. Those are the two that kind of stand out the most. I don't want to give too much because then our inner child gets overwhelmed and goes, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to get ice cream.
Okay, thank you so much, Ron. And that video, the meditation video, is also going to be in the show notes email for everyone here today. So we will be sending that to you as well. Ron, thank you so much. That was an absolutely fabulous webinar. I appreciate your transparency and your personal stories you brought into it, and also how you made what is quite a challenging topic and a deep discussion still fun and engaging and enjoyable. And you still had us all laughing. So thank you so much for today's webinar and for being here with us.
My pleasure. And I want to let you know, my inner child was scared beepless to do this because this is the first time I've done a webinar like this. So, I mean, I was freaking out the whole entire thing. And even during it, I felt it come up. So it's like, I'm right there with you. So I appreciate everyone. And, this helped me just kind of develop this more. The fact that I'm getting all this feedback, I know that now I'm going to be presenting this, I haven't presented this workshop at conferences yet, and now I'm going to be putting it out there. So thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, of course. I'm glad that you're feeling that way because I think it's such an important topic. Okay. Thank you so much, Ron. We'll let you get back on with your day. Take care.
I appreciate you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Ron. Everyone on here, before we wrap up, one quick reminder. Again, show notes and recording going out to you early next week. So just keep an eye out for that email in your inbox as well. Next week, same time, same place, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time next Thursday. We have a very exciting webinar. We are going to be talking about meeting 21st century parents' expectations in childcare. The landscape of childcare is shifting. What parents need is shifting. We are sitting down with a director of a childcare center, an educator at a childcare center, and a current parent with a child in a childcare center to get their perspectives on how they are meeting 21st century parents' expectations, and right from a parent as well, how they feel their needs are being met. So definitely sign up for that. Lena will post a link in the chat so you can sign up right now. And again, giveaway reminder, in our show notes email, we will be announcing the winner. So please, please, please keep an eye out for that email. Take a look. It might just be your name. And if it is, we will be contacting you. So no need to worry there. And lastly, if you have not connected with us yet, please do. We have a Circle Time Facebook group where tons of ideas and stories and strategies are being shared by educators. And we also have an Instagram page where we announce upcoming webinars, upcoming events, and lots of fun stuff. So please do follow us there as well. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us again today, taking time out of your Thursday to sit here and learn. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you all here next week. Thank you so much, everybody.